Morning, everybody. Hope you're all well. Feeling fresh on hump day. Halfway through our third week of stretching every single morning and evening, 9 a.m., 9 p.m. If you are there should be a chat function on your screen. Let me know that you're there by saying hello. I don't know who's there. All I know is that 5 people are there. And I now know that my mum and dad are there, as usual. Star members of my class. My mum and dad have been here every morning, every evening since I started this back on the 4th of January. Thanks for coming, mum and dad. All right. You're going to need a hand towel, tea towel, t-shirt. Just going to do a few of the mobility exercises today using one of these. So it doesn't really matter what, if it's a wrapped up t-shirt, hand towel, tea towel, some trousers, anything that you got to hand, but we will be using these as part of our mobility. I'm just going to turn that light off, yeah. All right. Okay, so we're going to start. And we're just going to get ourselves started this morning by getting some blood flowing around the body and getting a little bit warmer because it's such a miserable day out there today. As you can see, even my dog Lloyd doesn't even want to get up this morning. He did want to come and join us, and then he saw what the weather was like and he thought, nah, I'm going to go back to bed and watch this from my sofa. Just a few little steps forwards, a few little steps back as you do your marching. Remember, bringing your knees up at a 90-degree angle. Okay, good. And now we just want to do a couple of ankle circles. If you need to hold on to something, then do. But we're just loosening up the feet, rolling the ankles round. Ideally, if you can do this by just standing on one leg, that's good. Balancing is always a good thing to practice. To balance on one leg means that you have what we call good proprioception, which is to do with all your stabilizing muscles. Means that you keep all your stabilizing muscles strong and can help to prevent you from falling over, losing your balance. Okay, good. And now just back into our marching again. Just going to liven it up a little bit this Wednesday morning. Lots of mobility to wake us up. Last few seconds. Okay, good. Now what we're going to do is just take our legs quite wide, and I want you to point one foot to the side. I then want you to lean slightly to that side, and you should feel a nice stretch in your groin. If ever you feel that this is a little bit sore on your knee, stand next to a table or a chair, and as you lean, just use that for a bit of support, just to try and take your body weight off the knee joint a little bit. Good, and make sure you just change in from one side to the other. So what we want is legs nice and wide apart, feet pointing forwards, turn one foot to the side and bend that way. And we're feeling the stretch in our groin area on the inside of the top of your leg. Good. Okay, now we're just going to warm up our calf muscles, which is the big muscle on the back of your leg at the bottom, And by doing that, we're just going to be rising up onto tiptoes. Basically doing a bit of a calf raise. Try and keep your body straight as you do this. Legs straight. Your knees are straight. And you can see I'm basically just rocking back on my heels a little bit and up onto the toes. If you find this a little bit too hard, then all I want you to do is just loosen out your feet. You can keep your body weight stable on the floor, so it's 1 foot at a time. Just loosening off those ankles a little bit. But if you can do the calf raise, whoops, then brilliant. Keeping your balance as you do it. Good. Then we're going to stretch out your calves. So what we do with this one is 1 foot in front of the other. Make sure both your feet are pointing forwards. Keep your back leg straight and bend the front leg. Make sure on your back leg, your heel stays on the floor. And again, if you need to, use a wall, a chair, or a table just to put your arms onto. And all you're doing by that is just taking the pressure of your body weight off this knee. And you should be feeling the stretch just on the lower part of your leg. And then make sure you change to the other side as well. Okay, good. So now just working our way up the body slightly. We're now going to go into our side bends. So standing up nice and straight, hands to your side, and you're just going to bend to allow your hand to slide down your leg towards your knee, back up again, and to the other side. And you should be feeling a nice stretch all the way down the side of your body, the opposite side to where you're leaning towards. Keep breathing throughout. And make sure you're not leaning forwards or backwards. We're just going side to side. Each time you go, you should be able to feel it loosens off a little bit. And that you can maybe slightly take it a little bit closer to your knee. Or take your hand a little bit closer to your knee. Okay, good. Now, bringing your hands in front of you, keeping your feet planted on the floor, and we're just going to go into our side bends. So you're just going to bend round, come back to the center, around to the other side. Your eyes follow your hands. Keeping your feet in exactly the same position. And just allowing from the hips upwards to twist. Round to the side. Each time you go again, you should be able to feel it either gets a little bit easier or that you can just take it that little bit further round. Good. We're now just going to extend those side bends a little bit. We want one hand on your hip, other hand up above you, and you're just going to lean towards the bent arm. So now we're really just extending our side bends, really loosening out our backs this morning before we go into any other stretches or exercises. Good. If you want to feel this stretch a little bit more, with the hand that's on the hip, feel like you're sort of forcing the hip to go the other way to the straight arm that's over the top of your head. Okay, good. Now we're just going to do a few shoulder rolls just to loosen off our shoulders and the upper back. And now loosening off the neck. So all we're going to do as you stand here is just turn to look at one side. Bring your head back to center and then turn to look the other way. Stand up nice and tall as you do this. Make sure your shoulders are level. Good. And then back to a few shoulder rolls. Loosening it out. Bring the arms together. Clasp your hands in front. You should have a slight bend in your elbows. And then just feel like you're trying to pull your hands apart, but actually don't. Keep them clasped in front of you. And you should then feel a nice stretch all the way along your neck and the top of your back. Keep breathing. Then flip your hands around. So now your palms are facing away from you and you should be able to see your knuckles, and extend your arms so that they are now straight out in front of you. Again, still feeling a stretch on your shoulders, across the top of your back. Good. And then just let your arms come round. Give them a bit of a shake off. Now, if you grab your hand towels, your t-shirt, whatever it is you've got, what you're going to do is hold it with one hand and sling it over your shoulder. With the other hand, grab the bottom of the towel, get some tension in it, and you should now be stretching like this. Okay, and it should mean that in the arm that's next to your head, you feel a nice stretch here in what we call our tricep muscle, the bingo wings. And in the other hand, you should be feeling it across your shoulder. If you feel like you want to lengthen that stretch, basically just run your hands along the towel, try and bring them closer together. Keep the towel pulled tight as well. Deep breath in, and on the out breath, you might feel that you can just pull that towel a bit tighter. And then loosen it off, give your arms a shake, and then sling your towel over the other shoulder. Grab it with the other hand. I can definitely feel on this one, my left hand is a lot tighter. I'm definitely not able to get my hands as close together on this one. And that's quite normal. You will quite often find that you've got one side that might be tighter than the other. Just like we're either probably left-handed or right-handed. Again, there shouldn't be any pain with these stretches. If you're feeling any pain, then just relax it off a bit. Don't try and stretch that far. Okay, and then just relax again, a little bit of a shake off. Then what I want you to do is hold the towel in front of you. Okay, but quite wide this time. So have your arms wider than your body. Raise the towel up above your head and then bend in at the elbows, bring it down in front of your face until your elbows tuck in to your body. Raise it up again, stretch up to the top. Bend in at 90 degrees as the towel comes in front of your face and your elbows come into the side of your body. So when you're up, I don't know if you can see my towel, I'm going to bend down just so you can see it. So when it's up here, you should really feel like you're pulling that towel apart and you can feel a stretch in your shoulders. Keep that tension tight in your towel as you come down. Your shoulder blades then squeeze together as you bring your elbows into your side. Just keeping it as a nice, slow, fluid movement. Just really try to work that shoulder joint. Get the upper back moving and loosening off as well. And then just keep rising it up and down. Breathe in throughout. Last couple. Good. Then just let your hands drop and give them a shake out. Good. We're now going to go into our arm circles just to really finish off those shoulder joints. You're going to do 5 on one arm and 5 on the other. You guys should still be standing up as you do this. I'm on my knees, but it's only so that I can fit in the camera. You can see the full movement of my arms. And then the other arm as well. Okay, good. Once you've done 5 on each side, I'm just going to stretch off the shoulders so the arm comes in front of your body and you pull it in towards you. And you should feel a nice stretch all the way along your shoulder and the upper arm. And then changing arms, give it a shake off in between. Okay, good. We're now going to go into our roll downs. So this is where we always do this one. It's a brilliant stretch, this one. Great for your spine and your hamstrings. What we do is we stand up nice and tall, keeping the legs in the same place. We just try and curl the spine to take our head towards the floor. So standing up nice and tall, take a nice big deep breath in through the nose, and on the out breath, tuck your chin to your chest, roll your shoulders forwards, and start to bend your spine over very slowly, keeping your legs in exactly the same position. So your legs are straight, your feet are flat on the floor, and you're just curling your spine over. And keep going until you can feel you can go no more. If you're starting to bend the knees, you've gone too far. So we always want to keep our knees straight as we do this one. And just try to feel a nice stretch through your spine. If you can hang a little bit lower, that stretch will probably transfer into your hamstrings, which is the large muscle behind the back of your leg. Now, once you've enjoyed that hang, squeeze your bum cheeks together to bring you back up, slowly curling your spine up. Last thing to come up is the shoulders roll off, and then the head comes up as well. And then we're going to do it again. So chin to chest, roll the shoulders forwards, and really feel like from the top of your vertebrae, you're just allowing it to curl over, one vertebrae at a time. Tucking the tummy in, keeping the chin tucked into the chest. Really let your arms hang loose in front of you and just enjoy the hang wherever you get to. Nice deep breaths in and out. And then again, when you're ready, Squeeze those bum cheeks together to support you. Just one at a time, placing your spine, stacking it back on top of one another. And then rolling up. Good. And now slowly and safely, get yourself down onto the floor. Have your hand towel within reach. And we're going to start with hamstring stretches. We're going to do one leg at a time. So you have one leg straight out in front of you. The other leg can either be bent next to you so that the sole of your foot is next to the straight leg. And you're just going to slowly let your hands go down that straight leg towards your foot. Make sure you keep this leg straight. Your knee is flat on the floor, and so is your heel. And the hamstring muscle is the big muscle on the back of your leg. So that's what you want to feel stretching. It might feel like it's in the lower part of your back as well. If your hamstrings are particularly tight, that's fine. But if you are feeling it quite a lot in your lower back, then this is probably a good stretch for you to do regularly throughout the day. When you're ready, just slowly walk your hands back up and then change legs. So the other leg becomes the straight one. Other leg bends in. Hands are on your thigh. The reason I say hands on the thigh is so that your hands are relaxed on your leg. We don't want to see, some people try and do this, suspend their hands in the air. Well, that just places quite a lot of tension on your lower back. So we're just trying to relax our shoulders. The only thing that should feel tension would be your hamstring muscle, as I said, possibly your lower back. Try and keep the rest of your body relaxed. If you can reach your toes, pull them in. If you can't reach your toes, no problem. Just flex your toes back towards your body just to feel that stretch a little bit more. Good. And then slowly bring it up. And then both legs out in front. Now coming down again. Keep your knees and your feet together. Now what you can do, if you want, is use your towel. You can hook your towel over your feet and just use that to pull your toes towards your body as you slowly lean forwards. Keeping your back straight. And don't bounce at all. So when you get to the point that you feel is far enough, just hold it there. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And as you exhale, see if you can just relax into the stretch just a little bit further. And then slowly relaxing, allowing yourself to come back up. Good. Give your legs a bit of a shake off. Okay, and now legs wide apart, as wide as you feel comfortable with. Hands in the middle on the floor, and just walk your hands forwards, keeping your bum on the floor. You should be feeling a stretch on your groins. Try and keep your back straight. Just relax your shoulders forwards. Again, very individual this. Sometimes people will literally just sit like this and will be able to feel the stretch. Well, that's fine. Just sit like that, not a problem. You might just be that you can take your hands in front of you and you feel it stretching, or you might be able to walk them further out. It doesn't really matter how far you get. It's all about you just holding the stretch. What you should find is you continue to do these stretches regularly, you will find that you can extend it fairly quickly. You get to see the benefits with stretching quite early. Doesn't take too long. Slowly walking your hands back up and then hands onto one leg and then do the same again. Just go down that leg towards your toes. Keeping that leg straight so your knee and your heel is on the floor. Slowly walking yourself back up and then down to the other leg. Keeping your toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Good, deep breath in. On the out breath, can you relax into it and lengthen it a little bit more? And then slowly walking your hands back up. Good. As you bring your legs together, just give them a bit of a shake off. Now we're going to stretch the bum. So you've got one leg out in front, bend the other leg and cross it over. And with the opposite hand to that bent knee, pull it in towards the body. You notice that my other hand is behind me just for a bit of support. And if I want to lengthen the stretch, I can just turn towards that arm that is behind me. I'm still trying to pull this knee in the opposite direction to where I'm turning. If you want to take it on even further, bend the bottom leg, switch hands, and push the bent knee away from you. And you should be feeling, whichever way you're doing it, you're feeling it in the bum and along the leg down to your knee. And then changing legs. So now the other leg, the leg that you've just stretched is now straight in front. Bend the other one and cross it over. Opposite hand to opposite knee to pull it in towards your body and twist away. Yeah, I feel this stretch a lot better when I bend my bottom leg. Keep breathing nicely throughout. Good. Now bringing that leg back. What we want you to do is keep your feet flat on the floor, knees bent, and just slowly allow yourself to come back so that you're now lying on the floor. Your head, your shoulders are supported on the floor. Arms are out wide. Don't fall asleep just yet though. We've got a couple more stretches to do. So keeping your feet flat on the floor, your knees bent. All you're going to do is allow your hips to roll. Take your knees down to one side. Let your head roll in the opposite direction. And just feel a nice stretch all the way along the side of your body. Hold it there for a few seconds. Then roll so your knees are back pointing towards the ceiling. And let them slowly turn out to the other side. Head goes the opposite way. So your shoulders and your head are flat on the floor, totally relaxed. And it is your knees that are rolling from one side to the other. You might not be able to get your knees all the way down to the floor. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Again, it's quite individual stretching. So just take it as far as you feel comfortable with and feel stretched down the side of your body. Making sure that your head is rolling the opposite side to where you've taken your knees. Last couple on each side. Okay, good. Then extend your legs out and roll onto your side for a quad stretch. We're just going to try and bring the leg up behind our backs. If you can't reach your foot, grab your towel, loop it over, and then use that just to try and pull your foot up in towards your bum. Keep your knees together and push your hips forwards. You should be feeling this stretch all the way down the front of your leg, your quadricep muscle. And then roll to the other side, so you're stretching the other leg. You can also do this lying flat on the floor as well. So if you want to lie with your tummy on the floor, keep your knees together, remember. Push your hips into the floor, or push your hips forwards if you're lying on your side still. Sometimes you just have to experiment yourself as well with how your position is. Try it lying on your front, try it lying on your side. Try it with the towel or without if you can reach your foot. Good. And then lastly, just coming up onto all fours. Just going to stretch that back off again. So round off your shoulders, push them up towards the ceiling, and then let it hang down. Drop the tummy to the floor, stick the bum out. And then change it. So you roll off your back, really push your shoulder blades up to the floor, tuck your tummy in, and then let it hang loose to the floor, stick your bum out. And final one. Really pushing your tummy and your shoulders up towards the ceiling. You're so stretched out now, you'll feel like you can almost touch the ceiling. And then bringing it back down again, hanging loose. Good. Bring yourselves round to a sitting position. Take your arms up into the air. Hands together, bring them down in front of your chest and give yourselves a round of applause. Well done. Good stretching session. Hope you feel good, limbered up, ready to start hump day. Might be miserable outside, but don't make it a miserable day inside. Stay home, save lives, keep safe, and I'll see you all either at 9 o'clock tonight or 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Bye.